Imagine you wanted to take the CAD models that you've developed and all of the hard work you've done and take that into the simulator in some other place like RViz or Gazebo and or Isaac Sim and see your robot actually moving around doing what it's supposed to do. This sounds like a daunting task, but it's actually relatively easy. There's an Onshape direct import for Isaac Sim 5.1, but often it does not have the correct mates and shapes as you would expect out of the box. So just because I'm a little bit lazy and I like to create tools instead of a bunch of manual processes that take time, I've created a application, if you will, that will take something like this and its complexity, simplify it, and create URDF files on its behalf. And we'll be launching that this week on 10 things. So we're going to take one of these specifically. We're going to look at this pedestal robot that looks like it has a few joints already. So these are called mates in Onshape. We also have the same thing for Fusion 360, same tool. What we're going to do is go from these 8 or 9 mates, 8 mates, which we can see that there's so many more, and we're going to end up with this many mates, which might actually be too much. I'd rather too much than too little. So the way this works, and we'll just kind of go over it. We won't go through the workflow because there's a lot of stuff actually to it. There's about 9 parts to the workflow. But the way this works is you start a new project, and let's actually just look at that project that we already have. And it will go through and ask you some questions like what models do you want to use? It will also, if you want to use vision reasoning, it'll ask you if you want one of those kinds of models as well. And so Cosmos Reason is a possibility here as well. And then we'll go through and create a spec for you, a plan using MCP tools, which it has access to, I think roughly 130 tools right now. Yeah. And so, and these are always increasing. And is actually auto created by another application that 10 Things also has. And so it goes through, looks at the APIs that are available, creates the tools. The way this is set up, you're on your own Onshape account, so there is no we get to see a lot of your work kind of thing. These are just tools that call APIs that are available if you have Onshape already. So you do need to have an Onshape key to make this work. And if you want to use the cloud APIs, which I've been using Gemini 3.1 and Claude pretty liberally. No, and actually I use Chat GPT 5.5 as well as local models. I've been using, let's see, Quinn 3.6. I've been using DeepSeek and others. So, I've tried them with all of these to make sure they work. But you can see some things like, for instance, for our own robot, the robot that 10 Things is putting out. In this particular case, it only has one arm because we wanted to model an arm and get it correct. We're switching the grippers left and right. We're using different types of grippers, some that we purchased, some that we've created ourselves. The one that we're looking at right now happens to be created by 10 Things. And the way this works now is we want to be able to take this and as you can see, that's the gripper. As I moved it around, fell into itself because it didn't have proper collision and a proper body. So we want to take all these things that might be incorrect about the model in Onshape and make them correct inside of Onshape later on, and then export to URDF, export to USD, SDF, anything we might need. So this is you're getting a preview of 10 Things, the P0 or V0 version of our robot, which we'll be debuting in actually just a few weeks coming up. Give you guys an early preview of this. But you can see here that it has one arm. And if I go into my project harness, I can create a second arm, or we're in the different project right now, but we can go into that project, create a second arm, and do that all with the chat workflow or in using this workflow wizard here on the left. So I think that's a good introduction to one of the tools that 10 Things is creating. We have many more tools to come. Those of you that have seen my Discovery Hub, we now have multiple people working on this in my co-founder working very hard on these projects and problems. And I'd like to thank Merdad first of all for consoling with us, and then also providing these wonderful URDF examples, which I think everyone should be using as a template. These are just amazing. Some are legged, and it shows the different modalities, and also if we're thinking about reachability, like can I reach something? This is one of the reasons for having these various robot embodiments. We be able to test, hey, can we reach a thing? Can we go down to the floor, grab something, bend over and what gets blocked when we do that? So say like this was a workbench, and typically those have doors. This robot couldn't reach as far because it has its stand in the middle of the robot. These are the kinds of things that we want to know about in the URDF file. We want to know about them in the simulator. And the best way to do that, even with a world model or a VLA, is to know what the joints lengths are actually supposed to be like. So this is kind of a long video, so I'm going to wrap it up here. But what we do at 10 Things is look at each part, each mate, each joint, and we develop essentially a spec for everything, all the joint limits, all the joint properties, all the properties of the entire part, and we give them back to you later. So an example of this is we'll go in. We're already looking at a G1. I'm able to take that G1 CAD model and create my own URDF file that is actually more accurate than the URDF files that they give you. And now if I go to robot control, you'll see there's the G1 with the Inspire hands. These are very big hands for a G1. But you can see now I'm able to move. Oh, hi, how are you doing, everyone? I'm able to move the arm right here. And this is another one of our different applications that we'll be putting out here shortly, along with our consulting group, which is also being launched in this next month. So those of you that are still here, I'll see you all at the Humanoid Summit in Tokyo. And I'd love to demo all of this for you, as I will have a live demo of all of this. Not the robot with me, but you'll be able to see the robot in June in Austin, Texas, as we'll be launching the robot in Austin, Texas. All right, if you're still here, thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.